My name is Guy Hann. Thank you for inviting me here today. I originally came out here from New Jersey, Mercer County. I grew up country and lived on a dirt road with bare feet, and I loved it. Campground, and stayed there for 8 months while my father got work as a tile setter. It was a happy and adventurous time for me and all my 4 brothers. Hot Springs, because we wanted to live in a smaller town. We bought a home in the west of Desert Hot Springs, and that's the same year that Nancy and I were married, and we've been together now for a blissful 54 years. Well, Desert Hot Springs, when my wife and I first arrived, was a very small town. There was no stoplights. It was a very friendly place. There was only one little market, which was the little country store. The times when it rained, the roads would wash out in both ends of town, so that we were either washed into town or washed out of it. Originally, I was involved with the Rotary Club, and I enjoyed that tremendously. I was on the board and the president of Rotary Club for several years, over 10 or 15 years that I was involved with them, and I loved it. Rotary Club had a lot to do with the development of the town. Then I was involved with the Boys and Girls Club when it was just a small little room on 8th Street, and you know, a couple of dozen kids during the day, and we built that up into quite a deal. And I was involved with the Boys and Girls Club as a board member and as president during that time, and tremendously enjoyed the Boys and Girls Club. It eventually worked into a very big deal with a big building now, and a swimming pool, and not at all the little small town thing that it used to be. Then I became involved with the Historical Society as a original member and original board member in 1998. Was president a couple of different times of the Historical Society, and have held all the different offices at one time or another. Some of my favorite times with the Historical Society was our meetings. We had nice meetings at the hotels and stuff. A lot of the community came out for different events, like talks and seminars. We had a tremendous time, and the Historical Society is something that I enjoy tremendously even to this day. Someone was very instrumental in acquiring and maintaining the archives that we have today. Was Audrey Moe. She was so instrumental, so knowledgeable, so capable of putting the group together, organizing our archives into groups that they belonged in, organizing our photos and our our written articles and our newspaper articles, those kind of things, and some of the physical things that we have as well. She was so good at that, just even better than good. I don't know how to phrase that other than she was just so good at it. Bringing the people together, bringing the digital part of it together, which is a huge task, especially when she started out doing it. The digital was not as easy as it is today. Today it's a lot easier with scanning and digital photographs and cell phones and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't that easy then. And she was instrumental in making it seem easy. Without Audrey and the members of the, and Muffy as well, without Audrey and the other members of the group of the archives, we wouldn't have the organization of our archives that we have today. We might have the archives, but not organized in the way that they are. So thank goodness for Audrey and the archive group. My wife and I and daughter had a lot of fun working during my years with the Rotary Club with a canoe trip. Each year we would get people together from the community under the guidance of the Rotary Club, and we would put on a canoe trip, generally on the Colorado River, through the Topak Gorge, which is a kind of a flat section of the river. Not a lot of waves, and we would canoe over a day's period of time through the Topak Gorge. There were fun things along the river. We would always have a theme, whether it was pirates or Hawaiian theme, or just generally the characters that would be along the river that came from Kenneth Graham's book, The Wind in the Willows. Froggy and Mr. Toad and Moley. And we would make the trips kind of that way. And the kids loved it. We would have treasure hunts and that kind of stuff. And that went on for about 8 years, and through that 8 years with the Rotary Club, we taught hundreds of kids and adults how to canoe and how to have fun on the water. A race through town, and you would build a little cart that had some kind of a theme for the Rotary Club each year. And it went on for many years. We would build this little cart. We'd put a couple of people on it and race it down through town, down Palm Drive from the 8th Street all the way down to Pearson. And it was a pretty good grade. So our little carts would go pretty quickly, and some of the carts would make it all the way and some of it wouldn't. Some of them wouldn't. But we had tremendous amount of fun. I remember one year we had a gurney type of a cart, and a couple of members of the Rotary Club that were dressed up like nurses, and had somebody riding on the cart that was a patient. And we had great fun doing that. The Christmas parade was always a fun time, and Desert Hot Springs City did a lot to make that fun for the community and the groups that were in the community. Businesses were involved and other civic and community groups were involved. It was great fun. Several years that we had the parade, I entered my hot rod, and couple of years I even hauled Santa down down the road with me on the back of my hot rod. Those were fun times. The parades, and I'm sure that they still go on today, were great fun and a huge effort on the city of Desert Hot Springs to organize. But always fun to see, and they were always well attended. The people lining up along the street to see the parade and all of the business events. The business floats and the floats that were put together by the community organizations like Rotary Club and Women's Club and all of them. They were great times. Coffees was still around when I was beginning here in Desert Hot Springs. Of course, I've been here since 1979, so a lot of things were still here, and Coffees Spa was one of them. I wasn't here during any period of time that Coffees was actually operating. It was a vacant building, but it was still there, and I always thought that somebody could make something of it. And I think that there were groups that tried to make something of Coffees, but that were never successful. And one day it just kind of disappeared. The place was torn down, and it was because the homeless were living in it, and there were fires that were occurring, and we didn't want that to actually burn in some kind of a disaster or anything like that. So Coffees disappeared during the time that I was here in Desert Hot Springs, and it was a sad thing. But in hindsight, it needed to happen because I think there were plenty of organizations that had a chance to do something with Coffees, but that couldn't. Historical Society always did fundraisers that were our annual, yearly annual, I don't know what to call it. It was like a annual meeting where everybody came. We had an auction and auctioned off different valuable items, like a silent auction. And tables with all the small items, and then a live auction part of it, where people would buy the larger items in a large auction. And those were always fun. You got to get some of the small items like scripts from the movies, trips that were arranged and given by businesses in town, gift baskets, and that was always fun, the live auction. And we would have speakers that would come and talk on whatever their expertise was. We had a lady who was a writer, and I don't remember her name, but she was relatively famous and was with the club for many years. And she spoke on her writing and how she gained her inspiration and that kind of stuff. And those were always successful fundraisers, and I enjoyed being them. I generally was the bartender because I have experience in that way. When I was in college, I was a bartender on the side and made my spending money in that way, and it was always fun. So bartending was my job in the fundraisers for the Historical Society. We generally had an open bar, and it was my job to keep from serving too much to any one individual. Functions generally occurred in the different hotels here in town. Several times it was at the Spa. On occasion, it was at the Miracle. We also had events at the Flamingo, and there was another hotel there on hacienda that we had events at. So we had them in many different places, and it was always fun, always nicely decorated, and well attended. We would have generally 100 or more people there, and I always enjoyed those events. One of the things that we had great fun with was with the Rotary Club, and they were doing it long before I became part of the Rotary Club, which was in the mid-'80s. We would go out to the Maury Ranch and have what we called a turkey shoot. And it was actually a skeet shoot. We weren't shooting turkeys, but we would throw skeet with the disc throwers. And we had 2 ranges, 2 disc throwers, and the participants would stand there with their shotguns and blow these discs out of the air. And the winner of each one of the events was a frozen turkey. I loved loading the single thrower. We had one that was automated, and they just pushed a trigger to throw the skeet. But one of the pits had a single loader in it, and I loved sitting in that pit, reaching up to put the skeet disc in the loader, and then they would pull the trigger from somewhere else. But each time it went off, I'd reach up and put it was great fun. It was great fun. And we had a concession stand that we had there, and eventually we built a trailer. So it was pretty sophisticated, but boy did we have fun. At times I would sit in the pit and load the skeet shooter, and they'd yell pull, and boom would go all these shotguns. Oh, it was such fun. It lasted for a weekend, so it was a couple of days at a time, and I don't know what all of these guys that were turkey shooting did with all the frozen turkeys. I imagine they had to give them to friends and relatives, because there were a lot of turkeys involved, and wonderful fun. I still have lots of extended family from my many years in Desert Hot Springs and my insurance agency and the communities the community and clubs that I belong to. I love them all, and I stay in touch with them. The Historical Society is one of the favorite of all of my community endeavors. It's really important that people participate in the Historical Society because there's no other way to keep the history and show the history from the past and into the future so that we can develop a city with culture and pride and endeavor to make things better. And there's no other place than the Historical Society for those kind of things to begin. Family is gone. My brothers have all passed ahead of me, and I never expected that. I expected that, being the oldest in the family, that I would probably be the first to go, but it didn't turn out that way. I'm the lone survivor of my direct family. I have mostly extended family here in town, people that I've met through my business and community organizations that I've been a part of. And I love them all, and I stay in touch with as many as I can. Although my wife and I live at the Wooden Indian Ranch, which we purchased about 20 years ago in Pioneer Town.